Hey guys, welcome to another Hunter video. I'm a Night Elf Hunter on the Whisperwind server, and right now we are about to fight Deathbringer Saurfang, and this is in 10-player mode. And as you can see, when he comes out, he opens the door to the next wing, so I am gonna try to explore it. Come on, pet. Make it. Make it. Go! Oh, made it. Didn't catch my tail. And no, it's a dead end. And lucky for me, I only sent my pet because if a character was in there, they'll be stuck for the entire fight. Alright, now once you start Deathbringer Saurfang, then he will interact with NPCs for about 40 seconds, which is kind of annoying if you guys wipe a lot. And in my experience, a lot of pug raids, even my guild runs, kind of wipe a lot. So let's give this a shot. Now, in this fight, it's not easy because every single person must know what they're doing, whether it's the tanks, the healers, the melee DPS, or the ranged DPS. Everyone needs to know exactly what they're doing and not mess up, or else they're gonna screw everybody over. Now, the entire fight revolves around one mechanic, blood power, and I'll explain in more detail what the blood power means. Now, as a hunter, you're going to be very important in this fight because you're going to be needed to manage blood beasts. And blood beasts are these guys right now that are summoned. In 10-man, there is going to be 2 summoned. In 25-man, there is going to be 5 summoned. And so it goes without saying, 25-man is harder in terms of blood beast management. Now, the blood beasts are usually killed by the ranged characters, because you do not want the blood beasts to be hitting anybody whatsoever. Every time the blood beasts hit somebody, they are going to give Deathbringer Saurfang 1 blood power. Now, as a hunter, you have to slow down these blood beasts and kite them. And so your frost traps are going to be very important, as well as many of your other skills. And some of those other skills are concussive shot once they are out of the frost trap, disengage, which puts you in a further away distance away from the blood beasts. Deterrence is used once they come way too close and you have no other means of escape. Feign death is once you really have nothing else to do and you have to feign death to give the aggro up to what possibly a healer or another closer DPS, which is kind of dangerous, but it's better than having it hit you for about 3 or 4 seconds. And also, there was something else that I missed. Oh, distracting shot is going to be very important because you have to use distracting shot when the blood beasts are, let's say, stuck on a tank or a melee DPS because they don't know what they're doing. Another DPS once they get too close and you know they can't escape. And most importantly, when they get close to a healer. And you also have to make sure you stand at least 12 yards away from other people, because he will every so often cast a skill called Blood Nova. And Blood Nova will get him 1 blood power for every single person that is 12 yards within your range. And so let's say in 25-man, this is much more dangerous because there could be 5 or 6 people compacted into one 12-yard area, and you just gave Deathbringer Saurfang possibly 5 or 6 blood power. Now let's go into what blood power actually does. After every 100 blood power, he will cast out a mark of the fallen champion. And so what that means is once that person is marked with this fallen champion mark, then they will get hurt every few seconds for a hefty amount. I forget what the number was in 10 and 25-man, but you have to make sure these people stay alive, because once they die, then they will actually give or heal Deathbringer by 5%. And every time Deathbringer hits a melee attack, then it will give him 1 blood power for every single mark that is out there. Now, if you have the mark, don't bother dying and resurrecting or doing anything else, because you will have this mark until the encounter is finished. Doesn't matter if you die or if you resurrect, you'll still have it. And so that's why it's very dangerous, because if you have, let's say, 3 or 4 marks and he hits his mini softer enrage at 30%, which gives him 30% more increased attack speed, that means he will get blood power faster and he will put out marks faster, and so it's just a downward spiral from there. And if you have people dying on him once he's in his 30% range, then God have mercy on your soul, because it's more likely than not that you guys aren't going to survive that instance. Now, you have to make sure that in certain instances or certain group makeups, you have to go and kill off or let the people who have blood power die. And if you're going to let them die, then you have to make sure they die early on, because the longer they survive, the more blood power they are going to give to Deathbringer Saurfang. Another trick you can do is have paladins divine intervention the person who has blood power, and so for those 2 or 3 minutes, they are not going to heal him or give him blood power, and also they are not going to heal him when they die, because they don't. However, that only lasts for 2 or 3 minutes, and it's often recommended to let the first 1 or 2 people who have blood power die, and for the rest of them, DI them. Now, the tanks have to make sure that they don't pick up aggro from the blood beasts when they spawn every 40 seconds or so, and also the melee DPS needs to make sure they don't use any AoE damage on the blood beasts to pull aggro. And if you're thinking about just AoEing all them down, don't bother, because they have 95% resistance to AoE damage. Now, other than that, pretty much the fight. Very complicated, but as long as everyone knows what they're doing, it can easily be done. And I've just finished all the achievements for this wing, and now we can go into the next wing. After some NPC talking, blah blah blah, let's take a look at the loot. We have a 2-handed staff and a DPS ring. However, the rings that I'm wearing are all better than this, so I'm going to pass it off to another DPS who needs it a lot more. In this case, a rogue. Now, in 25-man, this fight is a lot harder, and there has to be a lot more strategy involved. And now for some heartwarming stories before we're open to the next wing. The father comes saying blah blah blah, please help me pick up my son. Meriden says, no, sorry, I can't let you do that. And then Varian Wind comes out and says, oh, go ahead, let him through, who cares. And so the guy says, okay, I'm gonna pick up my son. And then they're gonna be like, oh yeah, your son was a hero, so give him a hero's burial. And then he's like, oh, thank you very much. But then the Horde and Alliance are still fighting. What the hell? Now, when I did this, this was still when the second wing has not been opened yet. And what happens is they're going to start building 2 tents over by the left area. And they're going to open the door in about 28 days. So if you're playing this now, the door will be open and you can get access to the next boss. And I'll have a video for the next bosses once I get to make them. Alright, now you're going to see the door's going to be open in 28 days, and these workers are going to come out, and if you click on them, they'll say like, working, I'm busy, stop touching me. Oh no, that's an orc, never mind. And you're going to get people who are going to come out and sell you stuff, as well as to let you repair. And that pretty much is Deathbringer Saurfang. And so that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and take care. Till next time. It's me, Mario. Biatch? Mamma mia.